witches, so I'm really excited today. Like, I've never been more excited for a video. I'm going to be talking about magical theory, why magic works, how magic works, the mechanics of magic, and this is like such a cool subject to me. Like, obviously I'm a witch, I love magic, it fascinates me. But, you know, opening up a discussion like this, it's really cool to kind of throw out your ideologies and, you know, see what other people think. Do they agree? Do they have a different opinion? And it's important to have these discussions because that's how magic as a practice grows, right? We all kind of like share with each other and feed off each other. We take what we like, we leave what we don't, and that's beautiful. So before I get into this awesome video, I do just want to introduce myself. My name is Gianna. I'm a witch, and I've been a witch for about 14 years now. I created this YouTube channel to talk about magic, spirituality, witchcraft, you know, the things that I'm passionate about. So I would absolutely love if you would subscribe if that sounds good to you. Also, jump in the comments, ask me questions. I reply to almost everyone who comments. So yeah, start a discussion, say hello, whatever. The discussions are for you. I also have an Instagram page that I kind of treat as my online book of shadows. I post spells, I share my ideologies, and I'm a little bit more active on there than I am on YouTube. Just because like doing an entire YouTube video is kind of like a lot, but making an Instagram post is quite simple. So definitely go follow me on there. I also do tarot readings off of my Instagram. So if you would like me to read for you, I would absolutely love to. Now, let's get into this video. I think we should start by discussing what magic even is. Aleister Crowley, a man who receives very mixed opinions, actually had a really good definition for magic, and that is the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will. But that all sounds like really vague, right? So let's break it down. So what does will mean in this context? So it was once said that will is at the heart of every successful endeavor, whether magical or mundane. Will is like this primal force. So let me go into this. I believe that we are all a part of the universe, right? I believe in this big source energy, and it's not something that we're separate from. It's the universe, right? It's everything. And I believe that we are all the universe experiencing itself as an individual consciousness, right? So I kind of think of will kind of like the Force in Star Wars. Like, as ridiculous as that might sound, like bringing fantasy into magic, like it's this force that we're all connected to, and it works for us and through us. Will is the power that is directed by intent. So let's talk about intent. It's probably something you've heard a lot in magic before if you've been on like witchcraft groups or read articles or studied magic at all, right? You've probably heard magic is all about intent, or you have to focus your intent. And as important as intent is, it's only one of the components to making a successful spell or manifesting something successfully, right? So we channel will, and then our intent is how we direct it, right? So when you hear magic is all about intent, that's only half true. You have to utilize both will and intent for magic to work. In fact, will directed by intent is the cornerstone philosophy of magic as far as I'm concerned. So now that we know that magic is will directed by intent that goes out into the universe to cause some sort of change, how do we make that happen? So there isn't a science behind witchcraft, there isn't a science behind magic, and that might start some fights, and I'm prepared for that. But the truth is, we cannot measure magic, we cannot scientifically test magic. You know, maybe one day in the future there'll be the equipment or the technology that we will be able to, but as of right now, there's no way to measure it and prove it. And if there were, everyone would just believe in it, and probably everyone would be a witch, because if everyone knew that they could actually harness this power, like, why wouldn't they, right? So There is no hard and fast science behind magic that I can prove, and it would be irresponsible of me to say that I have the true answers. And if anyone ever tells you this is exactly how it works, I have the true answers, they're bullshit. They're bullshitters because they're not God. Sorry about it. So these are just my ideologies based on my experience, and I'm just sharing them with you. You can take them or you can leave them, but these are my theories on how magic actually works and functions. We control magic with our thoughts, and this is actually a really widely accepted theory in magic and witchcraft. So I prescribe to the notion that everything in the universe is energy, even the solid bits like you or me or this table. So when we use our thoughts, our energy goes out into the universe and affects the energy of everything else that makes up the great all, right? That everything else that's in this system we call the universe. And our will and intent almost act like a tuning fork, and it tells the universe what to do and what to conform with. And this is how manifestation gets set into motion. In witchcraft, we have a philosophy called as above, so below, which was taken from the Emerald's tablet. Now, basically what this means is whatever happens on the energetic plane must also happen in the physical plane. So by altering the energetic plane, we can cause change in the physical plane, and this is basically how magic works. Now, I've known the as above, so below philosophy to absolutely have credibility, but I think it's important that you get out there and try it for yourself. Don't just take things at face value, experiment. You're a witch, and it's kind of your job to discover the truth of the universe, right? So moving on, if you're still not really sure what to do with your hands here, like you're really not sure how to actually cast magic, I think that's fair. It's kind of a crazy thing. It's almost like telling a blind person to imagine the color blue if they've never seen it. Like, it's just such an odd concept. So I'm going to try my very best to explain casting magic in a very practical sense. I'm going to go through and explain how I just use my mind, no tools, no ingredients, no nothing, just my mind, my thoughts, to actually cast a spell. So firstly, what I do is I meditate. It is so important to do void meditation to clear your mind. And void meditation basically just means you're thinking of nothing, like the void, right? So you do this void meditation to calm down, right? To cleanse yourself, get everything out of the way. And you might want to do this for a couple minutes, a half hour. It kind of depends how fast you can kind of center yourself. And then after that point, I do meditation to enter what is called an altered state. Now, an altered state is where your mind, your brain kind of changes, and you go into the state almost like a trance state. And in the state of integration, you can work with the energies much better, right? So when I'm in this state, I feel very vast. I feel like I'm everything and I'm nothing. And I sort of feel like everything is an extension of what I am. It's like I'm tapping into the program that is the system of the universe to get ready to change its code, right? So when I get into this altered state, I start to build energy, right? I'll breathe in, breathe out. I control energy a lot with my breath. So I'll start to build this energy with my breath, and I'll feel it around me, and my aura swirling, growing around me. And when I feel like I've channeled enough energy, sometimes maybe I'll make a little chi ball, or, most of the times not even. You can do magic just in your mind. So when you start to feel this energy build up, I start to weave my intent into it. So I do this with visualization. I'm so sorry. Visualization. So I'll imagine, say my intent is to bring to me an apple. I will imagine the apple. I'll imagine the feeling of the apple. I'll imagine the smell of it, the taste of it. I'll make it real in my mind, right? And this is me changing the code to the grand system, right? and I'll state my intent in my mind. So I have an apple. That is my intent. And I always say my intent with like saying it as if I already have it. And I think that creates much more powerful magic. Because I believe that if you're always wishing, if you're always wanting, it's coming to me, then it'll always be coming to you. But if you say, I have it, then you already have it. And the universe, much like I said, intent and will is like the tuning fork for the rest of the universe will be like, all right, that's what I need to become in tune with. She has an apple, so I need to make it appear because I'm already late. Kind of like that. So I'll weave my intent into the energy with my thoughts, and I'll just make my intent real in my mind. And then I release the energy. Now, how do you release energy for someone who's like never felt energy before? I like to use kind of like an analogy of if I wanted a pen, say there was a pen on the table, I would just reach out and grab it. I wouldn't think to myself, hey, arm, move, I would just be like, I want that. And then your brain is just that quick where it happens. So controlling energy is like the same. You don't necessarily say, okay, energy, go on out now. It's just, you do it. And I know that's kind of like a cop-out answer, but it really is as simple as that. Just like you would will your arms to fling open, just will that energy out. It'll happen, I promise. So that's kind of how I cast magic with just my mind, with just meditation. Now, this isn't the only way to manifest certain spells and desires, right? If we're talking about magical theory, I have to talk about deity theory. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of petition magic, and this is when we petition a spirit or a deity to do a certain thing for us. So, I want an apple, or I have an apple. So you would write that on a piece of paper, and then you would ask the spirits or deity to bring that to you. Now, a cornerstone belief in this, like the fundamental belief of petition magic and deity theory, is the belief in deities, right? Now, what are my opinions on deities? I'm a pagan. So I absolutely do believe that the deities are real. I believe that they're out there. Now, I think that they're much like humans. Remember how I said that I believe that we're all the universe experiencing itself as an individual consciousness, having an individual experience? It's almost like the universe is the trunk of the tree, and then you get the branches and then the leaves, right? I believe that we are the leaves and the twigs and branches or whatever. We are the separate entities that come out of the source energy. And I don't think deities are any different. I just think that they're a little higher up on the hierarchy of power than us. They have these amazing magical capabilities. They are gods. And it's not surprising that we would worship them as such. Now, in nature, there is a quite clear-cut hierarchy of power. So, in a fight between a bear and a cat, I'm pretty sure the bear would fucking demolish the cat, right? And I think it's the same with deities. They're just higher up on that peg. So, when we work with deities, in a way, we really are working with not necessarily our higher selves, but a higher echelon of the universe, and we are a part of that universe. So I do believe deities do grant us things. I do believe that you can cast magic in petition form. So before I wrap this video up, there's one more thing I want to talk about, and that is the concept that intent is the almighty force of magic. And I'm realizing that I disagree with a widely accepted concept, which is crystals, herbs, tools, things like that, don't have any energy or metaphysical value unless a witch intends for them to have this metaphysical value. I think that is kind of weird. Now, this goes back into what I said about everything being energy, right? So if everything is energy, even the solid bits, like this table, who's to say that crystals and herbs don't have their own unique energy? You know, especially herbs, because if you think about it, herbs don't even just have energy like an inanimate object. They have bioenergy, they're alive, they breathe. So who's to say that their energy isn't unique? Energy manipulation is a huge part of witchcraft, right? And not just the manipulation of our own energy, but the manipulation of the energy around us. And I talk about this a little bit in my witchcraft study guide, so if you're new, that would probably be helpful to go check out. But the earth is a living, breathing part of this universe, right? If you're an empath, you can feel her energy. There's all these different grounding techniques where we go outside and put our feet in the earth and, you know, let the earth's energy cleanse us. And, you know, every rock and tree and creature has a spirit, has a voice, has a name. You know, these are all concepts within witchcraft. Maybe not everyone shares the same concepts, but there are a majority of people who do believe that the earth has its own energy. So as an empath, I feel that energy of the earth. I work with it. And to deny the energy of the earth is kind of weird to me. Like, to think that basil doesn't have lucky energies to it. I don't know. So whether you agree with me or not, that's my opinion on that. It just doesn't make sense to me that intent is literally everything when we live in a universe that's literally created by nothing but energy. So you can take it or leave it. I have a responsibility to share my honest opinions that I've formed through my experiences because, you know, this is my channel. But I would absolutely love to see this comment section just blow up. I really want to know everyone's opinion on this. I want to know their theories. I want to know your ideologies. Like, please, 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 write me novels. Write me, like, long comments, and I will get back to you. I will have this discussion with you. We can share ideas. That's the fun of having a YouTube channel for me. Absolutely. So, of course, before I go, please go follow my Instagram. Please subscribe to my channel. Again, please, please, please start a discussion in the comments. I love these types of discussions. Magical theory is literally my favorite. So, until next time, guys, happy casting.